It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to beer from Buxton Brewery. And I believe, but correct me if I'm mistaken, this is the first beer that Buxton Brewery have put into Sainsbury's. This is their Whetstone India Pale Ale, coming in at 7.2% ABV in a 440ml can. Condensation on the can. I've had the can in the fridge, took it out the fridge, it's warmed up a little bit, got that condensation on the can. But what's really interesting about the beer is there's another brewery up in Scotland, Top Out Brewery, and they use the lie of the land. There's a word for it, can't remember. But all of the lines, you know, where you can kind of like work out hills. I don't know how to do it. But it's like a map. It's like a map. So Whetstone is, you've got all of these weird one of cuckoo rocks up here, wood moss down here. It's definitely in England because they've said so up here. Tinker Spit Gutter. I reckon they should definitely make a beer called Tinker Spit Gutter. That would be fantastic. Chester Knoll down here. And then there you have Whetstone Ridge up here. So it's a lie of the land style map on the front of the can. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. Yeah, I picked it up in Sainsbury's. It was about £2.50 for the can as an introductory offer. I think that's really good. A really good price for that 7.2% ABV. Check your local Sainsbury's though, because the prices might vary. If you're living in London, I'm living in South Wales. My South Wales Sainsbury's might be a little bit cheaper than your South London Sainsbury's. So check your local prices in Sainsbury's. They might differ a little bit. Two Finger Whitehead, hazy, amber coloured IPA. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. Let's get the aroma. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh. Very pineapple-y. I almost used the word funky, but then I removed the glass from my nose and went back in for another go at the aroma. Because I don't really want to use the word funky when I'm talking about IPA. Yeah, it's a lighter kind of pineapple aroma. Interesting. Interesting, this one. Smells good. It does. A little bit of malt coming through. Pineapple and grapefruit coming through. It's not throwing itself out the glass like some of the other Sainsbury's beers. I've just done Tiny Rebel's Equalizer IPA. And literally, you were getting the aromas of the beer from here. This is more of a traditional IPA from Buxton, where you really got to get your nose into the beer and really take a sharp intake of breath through your nose. Dank. That was the word of the day years ago. It's a dank aroma. So dank for me means that you're just about getting a decent aroma. But all of the flavour, importantly, all of the flavour is locked into the beer. So there's only one way to unlock it, and that's by kind of getting into it. Let's go. Cheers, everybody. It's interesting. It's It's really interesting. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to have to go back in. My apologies if this takes a while, but I really want to understand this beer before I start speaking. This is way more old school than many of the beers that have hit the supermarkets. This has got a really kind of almost ripe bitterness. So you're definitely getting that kind of grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, those ripe flavours. Like the fruit is just ripened. Even though there's no fruit added to the beer, it's all hops. But then you're left with this kind of really dank, moody bitterness. Proper old school American double IPA, moody, dank bitterness. And, do you know, after drinking some of the other beers from Sainsbury's, and it's all like, as soon as you kind of like putting the beer to your lips and tasting it, you're having instant flavours. It's like bang, 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 bang. This is more of an old school American type IPA where you've got to search for it a little bit. You've got to kind of like let the beer slowly unfold page by page. It's a bit of a sipper. It's a bit of a beer to sit back and enjoy and just pull flavours bit by bit, page by page. And I like that. I like the malty, biscuity, bready mouthfeel. I like the bitter hop finish on the back end with orange peel. It's like biting orange peel and grapefruit peel and fleshy blood orange flavours coming through. Bitterness, pepperiness, spiciness. This is what IPA was 10 years ago. And it's credit to Buxton Brewery really to throw in an older style beer like this into the supermarket against all of these other sometimes wacky beers that we see, and go, there you go, Mr. Craft Beer Drinker. There you go. Sit back and enjoy that one. Contemplate it. Don't rush it. Enjoy it. This is good. This is really good. Good lacing on the glass. You can see the carbonation chasing the head up the glass. This is decent stuff. I've always been a big fan of Buxton Brewery. Back in the day, when it was first released, Axe Edge, my goodness me, Axe Edge was probably one of my favourite IPAs. They also did a pale ale that completely blew my mind, because they combined where they are in the world, the fantastic Buxton water. You know the brand Buxton water. You know the water quality up there is terrific. Well, they combined that terrific Buxton water with hops and malt and yeast, and for me, they came flying out the blocks. They were, as soon as I tried their beer, I was like, this is an up and coming brewery. This is a brewery that everybody kind of needs to try. And here they are now. I mean, fast forward probably the best part of 8 years, and you can find their beer in Asda, Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen it in Waitrose. I haven't been to a Waitrose in 6 months, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was in a Waitrose. You probably won't find it in Lidl and Aldi. The bar can only go so low before you start to struggle to get under it, you know. But yeah, this is a beer. I'm glad to see the Buxton have kind of moved their way into the supermarkets, because they are holding on to it. And this is the message. This is the message. They're holding on to a level of quality that most other breweries, when they hit the supermarkets, simply can't achieve. And I think that's down to the Jeff, probably the owner of the brewery, the water quality. Buxton water is always going to be tasting great. It's such an important part of the beer. This beer is 7.2% ABV, so we're probably talking over 90% of the beer is water. It plays a big role in the beer. But the hops, the malt, the yeast, all these other things add to the fact that it just makes great beer. It really does. And I'm ready now to review it. I'm ready to rate it. Looks good. Smells good. Tastes good. This is fully worth my £2.50 for the can. It really is. It's fully worth that. It took me a little while to get my head around it, to get to grips with it. And that was just purely to the fact that I've reviewed a few other Sainsbury's beers today that have been like in your face. This was a little bit more kind of like timid and come and find my flavours rather than all out in your face kind of stuff. It's a good beer. Whetstone India Pale Ale, Buxton Brewery. I like it enough to give it, for that £2.50 price point, I like it enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.